Hi guys, this is Allison, and today I'm going to be doing my reaction to 404, and this episode was probably my favorite of the season so far. I loved 404, you guys. Okay, let's just get started. So we basically open up with them just doing a recap of like, okay, so Jaha's just like chilling and he's floating, and so the delinquents basically pull a prank on him and float him, which I thought was really interesting. And it was kind of funny, but it was also really just like interesting though as well. So then we go to the whole Monty and that whole scene where they find the list and then they expose the list. I understand what Clark was trying to do. She was trying to make hard decisions and to provide for her people. Now, do I feel like the list is the right thing to do? That's not for me to judge because, like, we're not in her shoes. Like, we don't understand, like, what's really going on. So I feel like if I was in Clark's shoes, you would probably do that because, like, you can't save everybody. So you save who's going to be, like, who has the most skills, who can, like, help you survive and whatnot. It was just really interesting. Like, I thought that scene was really heartbreaking, just how Monty wasn't on the list, which I really don't understand because, like, Monty was the one who came up with the whole, like, oh, we're standing in our viable solution. Like, really? I don't know. I just don't understand why he's not on the list. And Harper's not on the list. Like, I can kind of understand with her medical history, like, she could have problems, but I love Harper, and, like, come on, man. So I thought it was hilarious though how like Jaha walks in because everyone's like freaking out, like, I'm not on the list. And then like this one dude's like, why is Bellamy Blake on the list? And I'm like, protect my son. And then Jaha's like, you know why Bellamy Blake's on the list. It's because of Clark Griffin. They make an excellent leadership team. And I'm like, the ship is sailing. Ah! It's so great, you guys. So that's really cool. And I just thought it was interesting. And I thought it was so sweet how, like, Clark was waiting at the entrance. And she's like, Bellamy's not back yet. And I'm like, waiting for her bae, you guys. So great. Okay. So then we go to the scene where Kane is in Polis. And he's talking to Octavia. And Octavia's like, what do I do now? So I have lots of qualms with Octavia's arc. I just feel like it's not developed. Like, she suddenly, like, overnight became a warrior. And I just feel like that's not realistic. I understand they can't do, like, every single day because things happen. But I feel like her arc this season would have made more sense if she was actually, like, actively training with Indra, like, every day. Or it was implied, like, okay, like, I go to training every day with Indra to become a better warrior. It just doesn't really make sense how she's, like, miraculously, like, this amazing warrior. And I'm just like, really? Come on. But I love Marie. She's amazing. So, like, kudos to her for playing Octavia. I still have hope for Octavia's arc and her character. I don't think she's a lost cause. I just think she's troubled and is grieving, and this is her way of grieving. I am glad, though, that Kane brought to the forefront, like, your choices have consequences. I thought that was really important because it's true. And I thought it was also interesting how he said, like, Lincoln taught you when to kill and when not to kill, which, cue the Linktavia feels, you guys, like, so many emotions. Yeah, but I'm glad that King kind of, like, brought her, just kind of put her in her place and said, hey, like, your actions have consequences, because I feel like Octavia doesn't really understand that. And again, she's 17, so she's not, like, a full-on adult, but, she's finding her way. So then we have the whole scene where, like, with Rowan and them. So that scene was very interesting. And just how, like, Rowan's like, you didn't tell me the plan, so now you're my hostages. And freaking Bellamy Blake, oh my gosh. And so, like, I loved the scene where they're in the cell and Bellamy's, like, near tears and he's like, it doesn't matter what we do, we always end up here. War always happens. And Kane is just trying to encourage him. Like, Kane is such a dad to the Blake siblings, you guys. Like, I can't. It was just such a nice moment. Okay, so then we switch to the whole, like, Allie, the group, like, goes to Allie's island to figure out, like, about the Nightblood lab. I thought it was cool how Raven is such a leader. Like, she's doing leadership roles. She is so smart at figuring out the tech. I loved how Miller was in charge and he was just like, okay, you go there, and like taking orders. Like, it was just so great, like giving orders, like, oh, Miller, yes. I'm also wearing my, if you can see, my Sass Daddy shirt that Jared Joseph has. If you want one, if you go to his Twitter page, he has a link. He was selling them at Unity Days, which was great because it was super cheap. It was like 10 Canadian dollars, which is not that bad. And considering the Unity Day shirt, it was 40 Canadian dollars, which is like really expensive. I was like, I can rock this shirt. Sass Daddy. But yeah, I just love how Jared Joseph was in this episode and just more involved. I thought it was funny how like Murphy and Raven have this like snark going on. They're not the best of friends by any means, but I thought it was funny how he helped her, you know, whenever they were running, and then, you know, she's like, thanks, and then Murphy's like, careful, Reyes, and Maury already has dibs on me. It was just cool. I think Murphy definitely provides that comic relief, and he's not, I guess, like, it fits his character. So I like it. But yeah, so I'm really interested to see like what's going to happen with that. It was really sad Nico died because that was just like, he's been there since season 1. I'm like, oh, the feels. But I don't know. It was nice though that he went out to protect Luna. That was great. I love that also that scene where Raven is talking to Luna and she's like, you know, you have choices. Like, you have the choice to help people. Like, I know it's hard when you're like, you feel like an outcast. Like, I'm there, but like, you have a choice whether or not you should help people or not. I felt like that was really important. Okay, so let's go to the Octavia Echo fight scene. So I pretty much figured like that's what was going to happen in the trailer, and I was right, and I wrote a whole AU fic that I will post soon, and I will leave a link down in the description so you guys can read it. It's my AU fic based on what I saw from the trailer. Yeah, it was just like, and how, like, Octavia's like, I'm not gonna go quietly. Like, I just love how Octavia, like, doesn't give up. That's one thing I love about her character. She's very determined. She doesn't give up. People underestimate her. Like, people underestimate me and other people. Like, they just look at us thinking, like, oh, like, we're just, like, little, you know, like, little kids because we're small or because we're short or we're just whatever. Like, we don't look athletic. But I loved how Octavia was just, like, kicking butt and, like, doing awesome things. Oh my gosh, you guys, when she freaking got stabbed and fell off the cliff, I was like, literally silence. I was like, did Octavia just die? Like, yes, I'm annoyed with her character arc right now, but I still like her as a character. I feel like she adds value. I was like, holy crud, man. And then one thing that I thought was really interesting was that Echo was saying, like, Yeongon's play, Steodin, that Grounder face, like, your fight is over. I thought that was really significant because Echo and Rowan, yes, they are like complex people and they're ruthless, but they have feelings, they have emotions. And I feel like Echo kind of felt bad because she didn't want that to happen. Like, she wanted to take Octavia alive, and Octavia like was like, no, like, hell no, I'm gonna fight to the finish. And like, so I feel like she felt bad. Like, she didn't want to kill Octavia. And then we go to one of my favorite scenes. Like, please give Bob freaking Marley all the Emmys. Like, why does he not have an Emmy? Why does he not have an Oscar? Like, holy crud. So they go to the prison, and Echo's like, you know, like, Bellamy's so, it's just so confident, like, my sister's gonna warn our people, like, you're going to lose. And then Echo, like, throws the sword down that Lincoln gave her, and Lincoln gave Octavia, and I was like, oh, the sword is gone. That was really important. That was, like, Lincoln's gift to her. And it's just, like, another part of Lincoln is gone. And, you know, Bellamy just, like, is such an display. Like, Bob Marley does not have, like, really any lines, but his just performance is just so raw and emotional and real and so heartbreaking. I don't really cry in TV, but this morning at 5:45, I was crying legit tears because it's just so emotional. Like, Bellamy realizes, like, oh my gosh, like, is my sister dead? And then, you know, Rowan confirms it, and then Echo's like, I'm sorry, like, she, you know, like, she's gone. And Bellamy just freaking loses it. And I feel like Bob Marley just says so much with so little that he's given. Like, he doesn't even need to have words. And he literally, like, owns that performance. Like, literally, his performance was the standout of the episode. It was amazing, you guys. And I just hope that he finds out soon about Octavia. My prediction is that Octavia She miraculously survives, which I'm like, there's no way, but plot. But yeah, so she survives, and then she has Helios, and then she says, like, we're gonna go home. I also felt like that was significant because, you know, she's kind of like a rebirth now. Like, her hair's down to back to season 1. Like, she is broken, she is wounded, and she's like, crap, like, this has consequences. And so she basically says, like, let's go home. And she never really called Arcadia home because it never felt like home to her. Especially now that Lincoln was gone. Like, she said, like, Lincoln was my home, and he's no longer there. And so I'm hoping for reconciliation, for a much healthier Blake sibling relationship. And yeah, so, oh my gosh, like, next episode is gonna be so great. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.